What's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about why I started prepping. Okay, so why I started prepping is kind of spiritual. It's not really something I saw on the news. It's not really like man didn't put fear in me to make me prep. It's more like I kind of start having these premonitions or dreams or whatever you want to call it, and it kind of put the fear of God in me, and I kind of started prepping. But it all happened probably like 5, 6 years ago when I moved to Los Angeles. Okay, I started having this spiritual battle in Los Angeles. If you're, if you're spiritual, if you deal with religion or spiritualism or anything like that, then you know what I'm talking about when I say I had a spiritual battle in Los Angeles. Okay, you can't see it, you can't fight it with your hands, but you having a spiritual battle inside of you. So when I was in Los Angeles, I was definitely having a spiritual battle, and I began to have these dreams. And in my dreams, I saw calamity, I saw destruction, I saw flooding, I saw a lot of stuff in my dreams, right? And I've been having these dreams on and off for 6 years, like a couple of years, just like little pieces, little fragments of different. And it's like I don't have regular dreams. I only have these dreams, these little fragments of what's to come, what I think is to come. And it's obvious that it's not, you know what I mean? It's not BS, because as I look around the world, I see everything kind of taking shape and getting ready to go into what I've been dreaming about, right? So, basically my dreams tell me that it's all gonna start with an 1135. I see that number everywhere I go, 1135. I've been seeing it for years now, 1135. And I never knew what 1135 was. And then something just told me. I always ask people, I'd be like, what's 1135? What do you think that means? And they'd be like, I don't know. One day I just said, let me Google 1135. Like, what the hell is 1135? So I Google it, and 1135 is a natural disaster. It's when the president declares a natural disaster, and he could pretty much make his own laws at that point, because it's been a disaster and everything's messed up. So he can take charge and do things that he couldn't do before when he declares a national disaster, like bring in the National Guard and stuff like that, right? So it's gonna start with the 1135. I know that as a fact. There's gonna be flooding in California. I've seen it. There's gonna be flooding, and there's gonna be just all out race wars. I've seen that. Like, I know that that's a fact. So, for me, prepping is like, I know something is coming, so I'm like, what can I do to get on top of it? What can I do to be ready for all the stuff that's coming? So, like, as far as like food and water, things to protect myself, and like staying spiritually balanced and stuff like that, talking to God every day, things like that. Starting this lifestyle where I'm not catering to what other people think. I'm not running to the barber shop every day. I'm not dressing to impress. I'm not doing all that stuff anymore. I'm thinking about the future and thinking about what really matters and what I really need. And I've been like that for a couple of years now. And I've watched people that were leaders before, and now that everything is taking shape, there's like a lot of people trying to make them look crazy. I noticed that a lot. A lot of people that are against this and are preppers and stuff like that, they were leaders before this all started. But now people kind of look down on them for what they're doing, like people like me. Like, a lot of people look down on me. A lot of people think I'm crazy for, you know, buying a lot of non-perishables, you know, buying power generators and binoculars and knives and guns and, you know, all kinds of stuff. You know, a lot of people look at that and they say, like, you know, he's off the deep end, you know, he's out of his mind. But I know for a fact what's coming. You know, I know that it's gonna get really bad really soon. So, and in my dreams, I'm not an old man. Like, I'm still, you know what I mean? It's coming real soon. So I started prepping maybe about 2 years ago. Like, I really like changed when I moved back from Los Angeles to the North Bay. I kind of changed my lifestyle a lot. You know, I stopped going out partying, doing all that type of stuff. And I'm really like a homebody now. And I kind of stay home and kind of prepare, get my area ready for whatever might happen. I'm not really a social person anymore. You know, I like to be to myself. I don't really like to be bothered too much. I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what's coming. I feel like a lot of people are blind to what's coming, and when it comes, it's gonna be crazy because they're not prepared. So many people don't have 3 days worth of food in their house. You know what I mean? If there was an earthquake right now and all the stores closed, a lot of people would die because of that. You know, it's real. It's a real like blind eye spirit right now. A lot of people don't even care about, you know, these talks of war. People don't care. These volcanoes going off everywhere every day. People don't care. These 9.1, 8.5 earthquakes. People don't care. You know, they just think that everything is going to be safe and everything's going to be normal for them forever. And that's not true. It's not going to be safe forever. And you watch all this stuff happening around the world and you still don't think that something could happen here on American soil, then you're crazy. You're out of your mind. You're the crazy one, not us. But it's definitely a black sheep type of thing being a prepper. It's definitely an outcast type of thing being a prepper. But I sleep better knowing that I don't have to, like, if something happened right now, I don't have to leave my house. You know what I mean? I could stay in my house and I could eat, I could drink, I could feed my pet, you know, I could protect myself, I could do all those things. And I sleep better knowing that. And it's really the fear of God is why I prep, you know. I don't know if it's judgment. I don't know what it is that's coming. But I do know that it's going to be bad for a lot of people. I know that a lot of people are going to die. I know a lot of people are going to suffer. I know a lot of people are going to get sick really soon. And you could look around and you can see that, you know, something's not right, something's about to happen. And I'm gonna reference this movie that I saw. It's called It Comes at Night, right? And this movie is before COVID, but it's about COVID. You know what I mean? It's like all this stuff is planned. If you check this movie out, it's definitely about COVID, but it's before COVID. And if you watch that movie, it's basically about, you know, a family that's in the middle of the woods, the preppers. You know, they got their solar panels, they got their weapons, they got their well, they got their food, you know. They start running out of food, but they had their food and everything. They were all prepped and ready to go. So they were in the woods, and then someone breaks into their house in the middle of the night. And they caught the guy and everything, but he started giving them this story about, you know, how his family was out there and how he was just looking for water and he didn't think anybody was home. And I was looking at it and I was like, they should just shoot him, you know, because you can't trust. I was like, you can't trust him, you can't trust him. But it was like they had to shoot him or trust him. That was the options, because they couldn't let him go. Because if they let him go, he knew where they lived and he could bring people back. He could do all this stuff. So they literally had to shoot him or trust him. You know what I mean? And there's this disease, so, you know, that plays a factor too. So you're checking to see if the person's sick, and then you see they're not sick. So then it comes to, can I trust this person or can I? You know what I mean? So they decided to trust the guy, and it turns out he really did have a family and everything. But, you know, if that was me, I wouldn't have trusted the guy. So it's gonna turn into a real bad situation when it comes down to shoot you or trust you. You know what I mean? A lot of people are just gonna shoot first and ask questions later, and it's just gonna be a bad situation. And with the disease, the crazy part is, you know, if you got the disease, they had to kill you and burn your body and make sure that, you know, nobody else got sick from it. This is the movie, guys. This movie I'm talking about. It comes at night. All right, so they had to get rid of the body or whatever. So it turns out that they bring this family back. It's a spoiler. I'm sorry, guys. It's a spoiler, but we're just talking. So the guy brings his family back, and then these two families are living together, right? Somebody gets sick in the house. So now the two families are going against each other. So it's so many dynamics that we're gonna face. You know what I mean? It's so much stuff that we're gonna face as far as food shortages, water shortages, disease, just untrustworthy people trying to steal from you, people trying to take from you. It's all definitely coming because all the variables are already in play. Everything's already set up. It's just gonna take a little while for it to really just, you know what I mean? Just really just take form. But the diseases are there. You know, the food shortages are there. The water shortages are there. The 1135, the natural disaster, those are happening everywhere. You know, it's only a matter of time before it happens here. And you just gotta be crazy. If you're not prepping, you gotta be crazy right now, because I mean, it's laid out in front of you. I don't see how you couldn't see it. But yeah, in the movie, it came down to the two families fighting for the house. So what would you do? Would you trust the person? Would you shoot the person? You know, if one of your family members got sick, would you have the heart to put them out the house? Would you have the heart to get rid of the body and do all that crazy stuff? Like, these are the times that we're living in, you guys. Like, it's not a movie anymore. The movies have become reality. Or were they ever movies? Like, was it ever a script? Or was it something that they knew was gonna happen and they said, hey, let's make a movie about it and let the people know ahead of time, put it in their heads and kind of get them ready for it? I don't know, but as far as prepping, it's not something that you do to be cool. It's not something that people value. You know, everybody looks at you like you're crazy unless it's another prepper. If it's another prepper, then they understand. But a prepper to a normal person is like a weirdo, basically. You know what I mean? But I basically got into prepping because of the fear of God, the fear of what's to come. Definitely destruction, definitely a lot of deaths, a lot of concentration camps. I've seen all this stuff in my dreams, and I know it's coming. So that's why I prep. I don't prep for the fall of the dollar and all this stuff. I don't prep for that. I prep for what I know is to come. Thanks for watching.